I want to jump right into being Asian American. 3 pieces of Asian media that I saw that is excellent. Number 1. God, what is number 1? Hasan hates Ronny. Ronny hates Hasan. Hasan Minhaj. Google, how do you pronounce Hasan Minhaj's name?
Hey guys, it's Hasan Minhaj.
Hasan Minhaj and Ronny Chang, no, spelled with an IE. They've had this bit since The Daily Show about how they hate each other and which one. This mic, I swear to God, is too heavy for this faded Snape shirt. They have had a bit since The Daily Show about how they hate each other and which one is the real Asian. And so they decided to pay off this extremely long running fake rivalry. I shouldn't say fake because that's going to ruin their show. They had their very real rivalry, and they had this show where it was basically like Asians versus Indians. Who's going to save America? Who's going to make America great again? Who can fix our environment, the education system, healthcare? It was so funny, so incisive. I'm so jealous of comedians and stand-up comedy. I've done a few in my lifetime. It is really hit or miss. Like, there was one I did to just like a small group of comedians, and they didn't laugh at a single thing I did. Comedians are like the hardest fucking audience. There was another one that I did to a bunch of Asian Americans, and I killed. I wasn't trying to be a comedian. It's just something that they recommend all actors do, because once you do some stand-up, nothing else will faze you. I promise you this, especially if you do comedy in front of other comedians. I mean, if you can limp away from that with your dick still attached, like, you're good. The thing that I'm so jealous about comedians is that they can say things that I always say in my real life and in front of my friends, but if I were to record it right now, if you were to fly on the wall into my home and hear what we say here, I would be canceled in -5 seconds. Like, Satan would come out of hell and be like, whoa, a woman saying those words? Like, so yeah, I'm just really jealous. I mean, obviously these are men, so they may be brown and yellow men, but they're still men, and so they can say things that I can only say privately. So those of you who have my number and are my personal friends, you know what I'm talking about. Snitches get fishes. That doesn't even rhyme. Number 2. I don't know why I'm like, this is like, you know how like Asians want to be hard? Number 2, we are watching Terrace house right now. In this house, we are big time into Korean and Japanese dating shows. We would be into Chinese dating shows, but America hates China, and so we don't get any Chinese imports. And we don't even get any, like, Taiwan should really get on this because Taiwanese people are cute. Not biased at all. It's not like my parents are from there or anything. We have been watching years and years. Pretty much anyone that is out there on Netflix, we've seen it. If there's even like one Asian on a preview for one of the overly white shows like Love is Blind, Married at First Sight, we will watch it. You want to know what is like a surprisingly Asian rep show, like Asian rep version of Love is Blind? It is Love is Blind France. It is all Vietnamese. Represent. Italy also had one as well. We were really surprised. Yeah, America, catch up. So right now we are on Terrace House, and if you have been living under a rock and you've never heard of Terrace House, it is like one of the original real world type shows. The thing is, the Japanese have excellent, well, I guess they were like before social media, but the Japanese have like intense concentration and focus, right? So they'll have these shows go for like years. And so the first season of Terrace House, it was just 6 people living in this apartment, and they just let the camera roll. It's a weekly show. I don't know if it was weekly back then, if it was like daily, but it was this like weekly show. And sometimes there would be like one person living in the apartment because people would leave. If they find love, they move out, or if something else happens, they leave. New people come in, and sometimes they can't find people or they didn't have a replacement in time. And so people would just watch this like mostly empty apartment, and you would just get so like engrossed in these people's lives. So if you guys are like burnt out by Perfect Match and all the like asses hanging out of G-strings, because I really don't need to see thongs on TV. Let's bring it away from Europe and back to the cover your butt. I don't even want to see my butt. I don't want to see your butt. And so if you're like burnt out on people's butts and you just want to see something calm and beautiful aesthetic, you know, the Japanese aesthetic, like it just looks so nice, then I highly recommend Terrace House. So it's got this nice pastel wash, the way early 2010 Instagram used to only have 3 filters, and one of them was this like vintage wash. And it's just really pleasant to see like people's daily lives. They have to go to work. Some of them are in school. Some of them are like commuting 2 hours in the Shinkansen, which is the bullet train for you whiteys. It's really fascinating and it's really lovely. And some of it is a train wreck because the reboot is Netflix. So this I think is the 3rd one. This one is more in the northern area, and we are on episode 48, which is the second to last one. We're about to do 49. I'm having a hard time saying goodbye. We've watched people shuffle in and out. I've already have it on my bucket list that the next time I go to Japan, I got to do all these. I got to go to that one hockey player's dad's soba shop. I don't know if it's still going to be open, but I'm going to try. Okay. Number 3. I don't know. Is this what they do on TikTok? Kim's Convenience. You probably know this best as the TV show that launched Simu Liu's career. It is about Korean Canadian bodega owners. I don't know if they call it that up north, ye olde north. We saw the play, and what was really special about it is that the creator, the playwright, the person who created this whole thing was actually starring in it as the dad. And the second the lights went up, it was so relatable. I was either laughing or crying the entire time. There was not a moment I wasn't having one of those reactions. I've been really burnt out with just disappointments in writing, in my writing career for a really long time now. And this was like one of the few things that got me excited again about the creative arts and got me thinking about being a playwright again. I used to write plays because there weren't any parts for Asians. You had to create your own. So I would write plays, but I was so terrified to submit them. So I've like only had like a few either performed or read. And even though I've had multiple theaters put them on, it's not as many as I have actually written and as I could have done. And so this one actually made me be like, oh, I want to write another play. And I actually opened up one of my plays that was performed. It was a 24-hour playathon. I was given 3 objects and I had to write a play in one night using those 3 objects and come back the next day. And that it was so fun. Like, you know, people always say constraints breed creativity, and they really do. That 24-hour play project is like one of the most like peak moments of my life. I actually performed it, mic dropped it, and then left LA after that. I still continued to act in New York afterwards, but I left LA after that. And I was like, I'm leaving on a high, bitches. Y'all didn't appreciate me. I feel this way a lot, actually, every day. I totally forgot to do the intro with Turning Red. Red Panda. Yeah, no, I have to prove how Asian I am. My roomie jacket is somewhere around here. I should have worn my derpy shirt, huh? Okay, it is time for
Turning Red has 27 characters.
Mei
Here
Li.
are the first 3. Mei Li, Ming Li, and Tyler Nguyen Baker.
There's half Asian. Okay, Mei Li, let's see. What is the boba of the week? Boba of the week is, what is this? I gotta put you down. This is the Tsubaki Oolong milk tea. It is camellia flower, which is a flower native to Taiwan, and it tastes so good. I love tea that tastes like perfume. Anything that's flowery, osmianthus, herbally. This one has less ice. I'm literally reading off of my self-kiosk order here. Less ice, no additional sugar, tea jelly, and oat milk substitute, because the older I get, the more Asian my stomach is getting. Alrighty. The Asian I live with just texted me. I hope that you've been enjoying my new lavalier mic that is pulling my shirt down. I am wearing Lucky Red because, once again, say it with me, I am proud to be AZN. Mei Li says, Please subscribe to this podcast so we can be friends.